This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INC Radio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCradio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Hey everyone, it's time to get this show started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone tuning in to INC Radio Northern Midwest Satellite Studio. I'm one of your hosts, Abe Romero from Bloomingdale, Illinois. Glad to be with you all this afternoon. And please continue to fill our YouTube live chat with comments, your greetings, your shout outs to anyone you know. We'll be sure to read them throughout our broadcast, especially if you have any thoughts or ideas regarding our topic, which you can see down below, below my face right there, building up your passion. And exactly what are we going to talk about today? I just wanted to preface this with something I've built of my own and I keep dropping, but we're going to talk to someone from Cincinnati who has much more skill than I do. This is just a very simple physics toy contraption that I have. But let's actually talk to him now. Let's say hi to Sean here from Cincinnati to learn more about his hobby of building these awesome crafts. So let's say good afternoon to Sean. Nice to have you with us today. Oh, and I believe you are muted. And there you are.
Thanks for having me, brother. It's very nice talking to y'all.
Nice. Glad to have you on with us. I'm sure the viewers could see when you were talking in that split second, your very nice collection, your display of builds and models that you've made over the years. But let's go back to the very beginning, shall we?
Sure.
When I was young, I don't know if you were the same way, but like I was very into like video games and things like that. But for you, since we're talking about these like model kits and builds, where did that love first start?
Well, to be honest, brother, when I was young, I was like like Bob the Builder was like my favorite thing in the world, and like yeah, just like he built stuff and I thought, hey, I like doing that. So and then I went from Legos to basic building blocks, and now to these guys. And there's like all the other various aspects, things in life that you can build. And yeah, I just like building stuff.
Okay. Was that what like drew you to it? Just like being all like hands-on with it? Or like because some people like maybe like artwork because they could be like really creative and things like that. So why were you like interested with like those like model kits and things like that? Was it the hands-on, skill
Yeah,
or like being able to see a project come to life?
yes, it's very satisfying to see everything like come together. Like at first, like you look at the box and then you start building it, and then like it doesn't look at like anything like it, but then like as you keep adding more parts to it, more building,
Mm-hmm.
like it starts to come together. You start to see the whole picture, and it's very satisfying to see.
That is very nice to see. And I'm sure like those builds, because you can go from like the very simple to like this one, which I keep breaking because it's too fragile, which is like maybe less than 50 pieces total. But like you have some builds that are in the hundreds, or I think you told me before, maybe even to the thousands, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes, brother. It was like the most pieces I ever dealt with was like 9,000, and it was like a Lego Titanic. But yeah, but usually it's like a couple thousand ish pieces every now and then.
So, like, is that a reason why like you choose maybe specific builds because of like the complexity of it, or is it because of what the final product looks like? It could be like related to like an anime, like what you have there behind you, or what are the reasons why you've like grown to love those specific builds?
Well, I just don't like pick. I'm very picky when it comes to Lego sets. So like the lighthouse is actually like a nice little counterpiece, and that's why I
Mhm,
bought it. But and if it's just like something I'm not interested, I just don't get it.
mhm.
And the reason why I have the Titanic is just because the movie, we all saw the movie.
Mhm.
and
And some of
and
those
yeah, there's like
pieces, yeah, some of those pieces like are really nice projects to display, like what you mentioned, right? With I think I see we see the lighthouse behind you, and I think peeking out
mhm.
from your shoulder is it a jet, if I'm not mistaken? Yes.
It's the Concorde airplane.
Mm, I'm curious. How
The
how
reason why I
long
got it.
did that
Go ahead.
how long did that take you to make?
It was like 15 hours in total, split in between 2 days.
Between 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe could be a week or something. So now I'm curious. I mean, with hobbies, right? Like you can
hmm
spend a lot of your free time, if not all of it, dedicated to that task. How are you able to like maintain that focus, especially accomplishing like that in 2 days, like you said? How is it that you're able to do that?
Okay, so with the Concorde specifically, I just really like. I also like airplanes a lot too,
Mhm,
and so like I really wanted to see how this Concorde would turn out, and that's why that was like I was like rush building it and everything, and yeah, and what how I maintain the what you call it focus
mhm,
is just basically the end goal, and also the building aspect itself is fun, and yeah, and that's the end. Like I said before, is like watching everything come together, and then ultimately, I do sometimes like kind of get a little tired, but what kept me going is like, oh, this thing is gonna turn out great. Just keep going, dude. Like, and you got this. So yeah.
I love that mindset. Like that is actually a very important quality to have, especially when you have those like long-term projects, like the ones that you're talking about today. Um, is there anything else that you've or like qualities that you've maybe like developed within yourself, or stuff that you've learned about yourself? Like, I don't know personally if I could like be that patient to work on something maybe like 7 8 hours total and finish like that scope of a project in 2 days. But yeah, to go back to, to that question, is there something or qualities that you've like developed through this hobby or stuff that you've learned about yourself when building these many models and art? I'm gonna call it art.
Sure. Um, it's not really how it's not really me learning something new about myself, but it's just how it molded me and how I thought about things. It's like just keep just keep following the steps, keep following the instructions, and then eventually your completed product will be here. Just be patient. And
Mhm.
I just apply that in real life, like like in cooking, in gardening. Oh my gosh, that gardening was like a 5 year process to completely fill that whole thing with grass. But back to back to hobbies. But yeah, it's just like the end goal as well as the journey to
Mhm.
get there is all worth it.
You actually
And
did
once
bring
you
up
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But before, if you want to answer your question first, because I do have a follow up to what you were saying. If you remember what you were
Go
talking about.
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, so because you did bring up a good point, how you were talking about cooking and gardening, and you know what I when thinking about it, like you can apply the same types of skills that you learn through,
Hmm.
making your crafts to those other hobbies, like being patient. And how I initially thought of it, like with your model building, like you have the different pieces akin to
Hmm.
like ingredients when you're making a recipe, and then you're
Yes.
watching it all come together, and ta-da, you have the you have the finished product. So art, I assume you do cook and garden if you're not working on your crafts. But are there other hobbies that you've taken besides working on those?
As long as it involves building, I'm into it. So your RC cars,
Mhm.
your PCs, and if I could, I'd build an entire car from the ground up, but I don't have the instructions. So
Oh, that actually good question to bring up. Are you good, or are you better at building with instructions or without?
so the I'm better with building with instructions
Okay.
because I'm not a designer. I'm just a builder. Just give me the instructions and then
Uh-huh.
consider this thing built.
I'm actually
So,
the same way. Like if there's I can try to be creative with something, and it may not look the best. But like if I was to, follow, like you said, like an instruction manual, and like have an idea already of what the finished product should look like, then I'll do my
mhm,
best to make it look like that when I build. So although however long it may take, right? I'll still like you, like focus and like know that I think that's another aspect, now that I'm talking about it out loud, that I find interesting, or what I like about it, is that I already have somewhat of a timeline in place. Like when I start a build, like I know I've made progression to this point, and then like I only have like a little bit more to go. So I think that's what draws that to me more than like open ended projects without like a deadline. Because like I may dilly
yeah,
dally, or I may not focus or have that same intention as like what you do when you have those like builds with instructions and things like that. So um
mhm.
oh, that is very, very, very cool. um have you had another, or do you have more? Do you have any plans to build more stuff? I'm sure you do, but
Oh, oh yes, I do have more plans to
uh-huh,
build more,
nice.
but I gotta complete this guy first.
Okay. so so would you consider yourself good at multitasking, or working on multiple projects at once, or no?
No,
What?
I gotta focus on one thing at a time. I used to do that, but then like the whole process ended up taking way too long. So I go, all right, hyper focus on this thing,
Mhm.
complete it, and then finish it. Then do the next project.
Very nice. So I'm sure, well, just to read a couple, I'm gonna look through our YouTube live chat here really quick just to see what others have said. From Leslie Isguera, she mentioned her favorite hobby has been baking. I don't mind cooking, but baking used to intimidate me. Now I look at it as a big chemistry experiment. As a chemist, I relate. So I do see what she is talking about, building or formulating, different things, and then seeing the finished product. So I totally understand what she was mentioning here. And then also from Brother CJ Manalansan, he mentions that it's such a cool hobby. Creativity and imagination with endless possibilities for the builds you can collect and make. Very true. Maybe not for us specifically because we do like our instructions. But no, if you do have, the capacity to build something from the ground up, by all means. It's cool to see how others, interpret or, visualize certain pieces, and, being able to show that on display like what you have. It's very, very cool. So, for those who may be listening in our YouTube live chat, or if they haven't messaged yet, and may consider this their next hobby, what would you say as advice, or um, any qualities that you think they need to possess in order to, do enjoy this activity?
Well, patience is one quality I recommend having, but usually, okay, how I got into Gundam specifically was I
Mhm.
got like a pretty complicated kit, and simply because I just like it.
Mhm.
But there are different grades of Gundam, of Gunpla, Gundam model kit, Gundam
Mhm.
plastic model kit, Gunpla. That's where that term comes from. But there's high grade, which is the beginner ones, and then the ones I usually build are master grade. And yeah, just pick the one that you like, that looks cool to you, and then just put it together, and no glue, no nothing, and you're set.
That's a good thing to know. No glue, because knowing me, it's gonna get very messy if I try to handle, art crafts like that. So, to
Hmm.
recap, like what you said, like a lot of patience, um, and I assume probably need a lot more table space to show all of your
Oh,
crafts. I
oh
saw
yeah.
that sigh from you.
Hmm.
A lot
It's
of.
only a small part of my collection.
Oh, if we had time, we would be able to show the rest of your immense collection. I saw if you're like me too, for those in our YouTube live chat,
Hmm.
there are those models that are like roller coaster style. I'm gonna call it roller coaster style, where it's just continuous moving parts. Um, I know when I was a child, I had those like marble slides where you like drop a marble and then you just watch it navigate through certain courses. So
Hmm.
I find that similar. And I'm sure everyone in our YouTube live chat has something similar that they enjoy as well. So um, yeah, if anyone in our YouTube live chat has hobbies or ideas that they would like to share with us, such as Paul Simmons, he said that his hobby is collecting too. And he really enjoys your collection as well, Sean. So you got a lot of support in your hobby, uh, which is very, very awesome. Let's see, and someone else from Milwaukee also relates to your love of cooking. Oh, well, he says at the end of it, you can eat your completed work. You can't really do that with your builds, but I mean, you can
Yeah, I don't
enjoy
exactly want to eat my Gundams.
the finished product. Is basically what he was trying to say. So yeah,
Yes.
very, very nice to hear your experiences, and to talk about your hobby, which we can clearly see you do have a love for, and you thoroughly enjoy. So before we move on to the next segment, is there anyone that you would like to, greet or, say hi to?
Uh, Hi, Dad. How's it going? Thanks for checking up on me beforehand, Brother Norse.
Yes. Before, just a side note, before our broadcast, yeah, he was showing me the rest of the pieces that we don't get to see on screen today. So maybe in a future broadcast, we'll be able to see more of this awesome hobby that you have. And speaking of hobbies, that is what we're actually going to learn how to sign today. So maybe sign language will be your next hobby. I don't know. But let's learn how to sign that with our district's CSD, Christian Society for the Deaf officers.
This is your
Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Sophia, and I am the Secretary for the Christian Society for the Deaf here in the District of Great Lakes. And for today's sign of the week, I'm going to teach you how to sign the word hobby. Now, To sign the word hobby, you'll need both of your hands for this. One will be over your chest, and the other is going to be beneath it, so beneath your hand. And to sign the word hobby, you're going to bring your hands out, and as you're doing that, your thumb and your middle finger will touch just as you're bringing your hand out. And you'll do that for both of your hands. So, again. One more time. And that's how you sign the word hobby. Thank you for joining us in today's Sign of the Week, and we hope to see you more in future activities.
This is your song.
Yes. Thank you to our CC department for showing us how to sign the word hobby. Now, she mentioned activities, future activities, but we're actually going to be looking at our recent activities from, like this throughout this week. First off is Louisville's cooking challenge. Wow, those food look so good. That's a burger right there on the
Looks really good.
on the right side there. So, and we also Chesterton, a lot of food related activities. Chesterton had their sushi making activity, and those look really, really nice too. And they also had and these are different locales in our district having their CFO cares. This is local wide CFO cares activity. This one's from Cleveland, that from Detroit as well, where they gave away, goods, and then of course there was also a blood sugar check and what was the other one? The blood pressure check, as well as a small seminar as well. This is from Lake County, and this is from Louisville and Naperville as well. Well, look at all those goodies that they were able to give out or hand out. Okay. Thank you everyone for participating in our different activities. We do hope we had some activities today that we do hope to show you in our next episode. But our time is kind of running short today, so we will send it off with, of course, before we do kind of close off, we do want to mention first a congratulations to the different anniversaries. For our district actually is celebrating its anniversary on June 3. We are going to be 34 years. I think that was for Northern Midwest, right? That was the 34 years for Northern Midwest.
Yes.
Makes this way newer than
It's a
than that.
reminder of how old I am.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes, Great Lakes will be way newer than that. But Rockford, Illinois, the local of Rockford, Illinois, will be celebrating its 10-year anniversary. It's a milestone anniversary on June 15, and Bloomingdale will be celebrating its 28 years anniversary on June 18. And of course, we cannot end our show without saying a special thanks to the people who make our show possible. First off, to our district ministers here in Great Lakes, Brother Arthur P. Agag, our assistant district minister, and Brother Elmer A. Sarmiento, our district minister as well. We want to say thank you as well to Brother Wally Taray, our INC radio station manager, most especially to Brother Angelo Iranya Manalo, our deputy executive minister, and Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister. Thank you for making our show possible. And to everyone there in our live chat, we do hope that you will have a great next week, and we will see you next time. And we do hope that you stay phenomenal, you be phenomenal, and have a great weekend. Goodbye, everyone.